This video
Yes, welcome.
by Royalty is here.
So, VTubers.
VTubers are pretty cool.
Yes, welcome back to the trough. I hope you aren't that malnourished. I think it's been around 2 months or something since I last talked about a virtual 3D or 2D female. I say female because male VTubers are essentially, unfortunately, the support characters that have a single digit of screen time at this point, and the conclusion of their character is getting ganked off camera. Once again, you can't name me 5 male VTubers in 10 seconds. Don't worry, I'm not waiting that long, I already know you can't name them. But that's not me discrediting their efforts, but compared to their female counterpart, for one reason or another, probably due to the dual-wielded howitzers most have equipped, that comes with the unfortunate side effect of a primary portion of your viewers testing the amount of friction they can generate from their cocktail sausage, whilst leveling up their one-handed skill, and probably developing a somewhat unhealthy parasocial relationship with disappointed by the amount of times that one prophecy has come true. But yeah, most of the limelight tends to be on the female VTubers most of the time. However, despite only a short time ago being freshly introduced form of media, and initially thinking this would be a fad that quickly died out, before delving into the honor hole of hell and involuntarily being educated in all the eldritch horrors the VTubing community had to offer, I quite like VTubers now, even if saying that out loud shares the same feeling as consuming arsenic. I like VTubers and how far they've come.
Hey man, wait, that was lunch late? No. Oh. God, lunch late. I've never had it and I never will. It looks so fucking bad.
I like VTubers and how far they've come from their early conception in the late 2010s. And this medium has been...
I'm not sure what really got me into VTubers. I guess like the idea of like having a moving OC like in real time, I think is a cool concept to me. I don't know, it's literally watching somebody just like an anime character like come to life, I guess. I don't know, it's pretty cool to me.
Used as a vehicle for so many different unique avenues. You have AI VTubers.
Can you be nice to me again? I liked it better when you and I.
Honestly, probably one of the only AI that I could like support. I think AI tubers are also pretty unique. I'm not gonna lie though, I was a little bit skeptical with Nero the first time I heard about her.
Nice to me.
Well, that's a shame because I'm not nice to you anymore.
I've definitely come around to her though.
Nobody likes you anyway. Nobody likes you at all.
Oh my god.
MHM.
I wasn't expecting that.
Fucking clanker. You have a range.
Nah. Ain't no way he used the hard.
Holy roast.
Bro, Royalty really called her a clanker, man. SMH. You can't be saying that, dude. SMH my head.
Hell now the C word.
Yeah, he really used the C word right there.
That's
that
too
far.
Themselves in their own art style and personality.
Whoever left the footprints behind was barefoot. Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie though. I think my only Oshi that I have is probably Mint. I don't have any Oshis, but I think Mint is one of them. No way, this is probably out of context clip. I'm sure she's pretty say so.
Prints are large and wide. Oh yeah. Perhaps indicating they were left by a man.
Your VTubers pushing the technological boundaries and are constantly evolving, and then you have whatever the f this is.
Praise. Wow, beautiful. Wow, guys. Maybe there is a purpose to life outside of jorking my penis to Judy Hop's scap.
Oh, Chibi. Classic Chibi.
Classic Chibi.
I've never paused so fast.
Wow. Jesus was right.
Even the French have their own VTuber now, and they play War Thunder. What a double negative. Yes, I was wrong about VTubers initially, they aren't a passing fad. They are certainly here to stay and are only going to grow as the years go on, with more personalities, capabilities, and quite possibly more controversies. As in this year alone, VTubing could not catch a break. It was one discombobulation after another. The VTubing community is going through its own Horus heresy right now in terms of events. You had the whole Cinder situation.
Oh, that woman. No, I was pretty shocked when that like revelation came out. That was the last person I kind of expected to have like such a big controversy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Aware?
Like I never would have like expected something like that.
Situation, Gura graduating due to complications with her agency, which left her fans more upset than, I don't know, being time bomb trolled on COD Zombies, only for her to come back shortly after, and more recently the whole implosion of the VTubing agency.
Oh yeah, V Shoujo and her, yeah, two of the like, yeah, definitely gave me a lot of whiplash.
Shoujo. One that was previously revered for being one of the best agencies that specialized in VTubing related entertainment.
Okay, would I say they were the best though? I don't know about that. I don't even say they were like the best. They still had their own flaws.
With a range of successful
But
talent.
they still were good. I'm not gonna say they were the best.
They were only a few expired NDAs away from the horrible truth of the agency being revealed. From improper management and fund management, especially with money raised for charities, to treating the talent themselves quite poorly, which led to the prompt mass exodus of most of its talent, and the ultimate end to V Shoujo, one of the few remaining bastions of the corporate VTubing world, and is another reminder that just because something looks highly functional and remarkable on the front, doesn't mean the same thing can be said from behind the scenes. As we've learned a number of times in the VTubing community alone, but this video isn't about V Shoujo or a VTubing agency at all. It is more about a COD Clan-like group of VTubers that seem to have found themselves in hot water, from simply the name of the group to the actions of the members, all of which after only formally existing for a few weeks now, and they have most certainly obtained the speedrunning world record for a number of potential career-ending controversies in such a short amount of time. But the one group I wanted to talk about today is the VTubing group, VTards.
I'm a good little piggy who eats from a trough. Oink, oink,
is this
oink.
real?
I love my slop.
Now obviously naming your group VTards, seemingly out of the gate,
that can't be real. There's no way.
would definitely expose you to some level of backlash. I personally think the word they are insinuating here has been so overused, I'm somewhat desensitized at this point. It just doesn't hold the same weight it did 10 years ago, at least in my opinion. I personally would be more offended if somebody called me a homo habilis, but the word obviously does have a history to it as well, and people do get offended when it is used. But simply just the name wasn't the only reason people's heads turned at the sight of this newly formed group. The group officially formed on July 9th, with 5 group members, and within the announcement tweet, they provide a short, basic description of their group, which was a female VTuber group currently comprised of 5 based anime girl VTubers who aren't afraid to speak their mind and go against what is deemed politically correct. Now, as I've said previously, politics...
Wait, now that I think about it, I did see that one. That red-haired girl, red-haired person, get into some hot water. I do remember that person.
My strong point. It's probably...
Okay, so they were also a part of that group too, noted.
Politics is not my strong point. It's probably one of my lowest stats alongside cardio, because fuck cardio, you can probably burn just as much calories weight training, and if not, fuck you anyway, I'm still not...
No. They got it the worst. They were pretty bad. Yeah.
The suit.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Not using the Stairmaster. But anyway, the definition of being politically correct was lost on me, but I quickly found out it basically meant to avoid being offensive in most ways. The more you know, I guess. But out of the gate, it would appear this group had the goal of being as unapologetic and honest to themselves as possible, but the reason this announcement seemed to turn...
I guess, in a way... I mean, it really depends how you act. I guess could be pretty pretty based, but no, they're just weirdos.
And a lot of heads and caused somewhat of a stir in the VTuber community to the point where the tweet went viral, but not just because of the name of the group. It was down to some of the participants of the group and their activities. In hindsight, the first tweet was probably a warning. The first, probably most alarming feature of the group is the fact that one of them is a version of Hatsune Miku that self-identifies as a member of a not-so-nice German party during the event of World War II, and I don't know if YouTube lets me say the word, but they are openly a Nazi, and I think at this point they aren't joking about this, and are doing this unironically at this point, at least to my knowledge, unless they're playing the long game of 4D chess, which is a terrible game, and their VTuber advertised Hatsune Miku dressed in full SS gear and going by the name Nachisu Miku, and sharing most of the rhetoric that one would expect from someone identifying as a Nazi.
Listen up, you filthy Take a Q-tip for once in your...
Bro, what? Like, just like that? Like, no... Like, out of nowhere. Like, oh my god.
Goddamn life and clean your fucking ears.
Oh
yeah,
god,
they're pretty bad.
It's worse than I thought.
We gotta send all the niggas back to Africa.
Dude, their chat is so bad.
All you stupid niggas. I want you out of my country.
With many controversial
frick,
tweets and
man?
some are just straight up
shit.
posts.
Them making being edgy their whole personality. They really haven't gone past 2008.
I personally don't like being edgy, but this is not that, this is bad.
Yeah, this is weirdo behavior.
This is too much monka.
I don't know why, but this kind of reminds me of that one Black Templars meme.
You German boy, don't join the Black Templars!
Oh mein Gott, der Codex Astartes ist ein Bunch of Bullscheiße.
She does in fact clarify later.
Actually, speaking of which, I should really get into Warhammer again. Absolutely love Warhammer. Like, I remember playing Vermintide a lot. That used to be like one of the games I used to main.
On the 40k reference.
Yeah, dude. Dude, 40k is so good though. Honestly.
Later on, as a Nazi, she doesn't agree with killing people, but she does agree with everything else and Nazi ideology, and clarifies she is not joking. And she...
Bro, how do you still have a platform? I'm pretty sure she's banned now, but like, I'm just like, how did you not go into the banned speedrun? Like, I'm just, it's crazy to me how they had a platform for so long. Like, yeah, it's really weird.
She also goes on to defend some of our other members, saying she is the only one that believes this line of thinking, and just because she's in a group of people does not mean they fully believe the same thing she does, simply due to association, and that they all believe things differently but can still somewhat coexist together, which I assume is to deter people thinking that the other members are Nazis as well, and that they don't believe exactly what she believes, which was sort of proven true a bit later on. But yeah, we got a VTuber before a VTuber that is just pure foreskin. Wouldn't have imagined it. As said before, this group got a lot of attention overnight, primarily due to the name of the group and one of them being a Nazi. party, but they were pushed to the forefront of discussion in the VTubing community just from their announcement tweet alone, which may have been their intention from the start, as their group has stated in the past, stating with this group they intend to push social norms, which they have seemingly succeeded with fresh out of spawn. They received both backlash and some degree of support with an increase in viewership across most of their channels from this, but then again we've only talked about just one member. What about the other people a part of the group? The other members are Kami Kurai, Sure1 Kitsune Nines, and Saturn Senshi. First you have Akemi, who initially debuted on October 13th, 2023, and is a vampire cat who had some restrictions applied to their Discord account after breaking the rules, which I've personally never seen before. They are seemingly the leader or the founder of V.
That's the first time I've ever even heard of that. Like, what the frick, man? How do you have to be so bad to get that, for that to happen to you?
Who had some restrictions applied to their Discord account after breaking the rules, which I've personally never seen before. They are seemingly the leader or the founder of VTards, and as said before, just because they're in a group with Red Miku, it doesn't mean they share the same ideology as they state.
They're probably just as bad though. Like, if you're really making a group with someone that supports that, I think you're probably just as bad.
Themselves. But once again, as they warned in their first tweet announcing the group, they all mostly do the same thing. Most of them have opinions and controversial takes, with many labeling them transphobic, homophobic, and racist, and have angered one group or another, but that is essentially VTards, who are probably the most controversial VTubing group as of right now. If we were ranking them, they would probably be in Grandmaster by now, and they have most certainly achieved their goal of pushing against social norms with the amount of discourse they've caused, just in the VTubing space alone. Obviously, the only reason they are seeing so much attention is due to that controversial nature as a group, and without that, with the thousands of VTubers that exist, it would be hard for them to stand out individually, or even as a group. And if they intended this or not, this has put them in the spotlight as of right now, even though they've only existed for around a month, and there's a possibility it's just very successful rage bait, and they might not believe what they preach. But even with this group only existing within a short time frame, it would already see some internal fighting. So as said, after only existing at most a week, the group already had their own infighting, which was somewhat confusing to say the least, and led some people to assume the group was already crumbling apart. The conflict mainly centered around Shiro, who is a dog girl VTuber that debuted in July 18th, 2023. Now the thing with Shiro was she was a bit different from the rest. No, people still thought she was just as controversial as the other members, but apparently they were different in the way where they were the only one that thought the whole Red Miku thing was a little bit more about the people you are in a group with beforehand. But it seems the group and some of its members may have been just slapped together with duct tape, with some members not fully knowing each other, but that's just my game theory. But Shiro no longer wanted to be a part of the group after only a few days from their official debut tweet, but it doesn't end there, because for some reason they continue to talk about the situation when the following probably could have been handled privately, no matter the reputation of the group, and all hell proceeded to break loose, even though it probably already did, once again, Red Miku. But even though Shiro could have left things there, said her piece and moved on, she continues by providing screenshots of Discord DMs between her and Miku where they would seem to be having a disagreement which would start a conflict labelled on Twitter as the Red Miku versus Lolicon conflict, where they were discussing an artist that made some really weird images of Anya from Spy X Family, and that's the nicest way of saying it, and Miku had a problem with it, of which Shiro disagrees with them, and they remind them that they agree with Nazi ideology, but this is where they draw the line.
Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why they would leak these DMs except for worrying that they would be used against them later on. But it proceeds to continue with the rest of the group siding with Miku, and ultimately
I feel like I wouldn't even interact with this kind of person. Like, why would you interact with them? Like, it's just weird.
Shiro leaving. and they uploaded a newer version of their group art without hair. And what happens next is basically high school level drama, so
It's
prepare
always
yourself.
high school
Saturn makes
level
a tweet
drama
basically.
when it comes to VTubers in general. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, everything is just petty as fuck. Like, every single drama in this space is just super, like, bare bones. Also, let me go ahead and add somebody. Alright.
Saying they wish them the best, of which Shira responds. The leader Akami apparently was talking bad about Shira after she left, of which Akami responded by saying, "You did it first." And then Shira attaches a screenshot where Akami is talking about her personal life. After Shira told her own fans not to do anything to the other members start to shit on her as well. And then Akami goes on to talk about how Shira talked badly about her BPD, and yeah, I'm fucking done at this point. It's basically like Chinese whispers. The fallout at this point was
not as a
Saved.
statement, but for my own mental
Saved.
health. Please remember that behind the screen is a real person just like you.
Saved.
Think about that before you respond to people, which, God, the fucking irony, audacity, I don't even know. But the fact that you say this, you know, think about that before you respond to people. You know, there are real people behind the screen. You, of all people, are saying that.
People found it funny that for a group that was supposed to be so based or controversial would have their feelings hurt by someone talking about their BPD, with people expecting their tolerance to be somewhat higher. But in the current day, things have changed. Red Miku got banned off Twitter as of right now, and then just promptly made a new one. Akami was getting a lot of threats, so they protected their account, so you have to follow to see her tweets, which obviously you shouldn't do. You shouldn't fight fire with fire, especially if you disagree with these people in this group. But the group is functioning just as normal. They only lost one person.
Oh.
In conclusion, the forming of such a group was going to eventually happen anyway, and you've also had individual VTubers on the same level in the past. VTubing is a vehicle anyone can drive nowadays. It's probably a lot easier to be a VTuber now than it has ever been.
Yeah, having a Red Miku on your team is probably a bad idea. In conclusion,
there's countless artists out there that will create you a model for extortionate prices, and countless pieces of software made to now aid you in VTubing. Whereas around the start, most of this didn't exist, and thanks to this, you now have a range of VTubers that without these facts also wouldn't exist, especially in the case of indie VTubers. VTubing has evolved and got so popular to the point where, yeah, you are going to start seeing things like this, because that is relatively normal when a form of media gets so popular and easily accessible to do it yourself. And gatekeeping this medium won't help either. In regards to VTads, I may be crazy, but they are nowhere near done. I think some people are even requesting to join the group, but they are still going, and who knows?
That's crazy.
Maybe they will change their reputation around. The other members I don't know about. Red Miku. But yeah, that is just a small topic I wanted to talk about quickly, and if you remember this picture and the music that went along with it, you're old. Also, fuck you, Smuggalana. No matter how many times I counter the claims, the misinformation on the femboy and fairy allegations persist. I hope you stub your toe. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Damn, what happened? What drama did I miss there? Alright, interesting video. Go give it a watch if you